is Melsa Crisdika, and I want to explain my thesis. They have a title, An Ethnographic Study of Classroom Practices, implementing teacher strategies to foster critical reading and deep comprehension based on the Merdeka curriculum at senior high school. Background of the study. Reading is a fundamental skill in learning English, especially in the EFL classroom. However, reading shouldn't only focus on understanding vocabulary or answering questions. Students are expected to develop critical reading skills and deep comprehension in order to analyze text, interpret meaning, and connect ideas with real-life context. Jadi latar belakang ini berangkat dari pemahaman membaca, bukan hanya kegiatan memahami kata atau kalimat, tapi juga proses berpikir dan juga pengimplementasian siswa dalam membaca. Problem identification. In classroom practice, many grade 10 students are still limited to understanding explicit information from text. They often experience difficulties in identifying implied meaning, author's intention, and deeper interpretation of text. Reading activities tend to focus on completing tasks rather than understanding meaning. This problem indicates that the way reading is it's taught in the classroom influence students' comprehension. Therefore, it's necessary to examine how teachers implement reading strategies in real classroom situations. Research question. This research is guided by the following question. Number 1, how are classroom reading practice conducted in grade 10 based on the Merdeka curriculum? And 2, what strategies are implemented by teachers to foster? And 3, how do students respond to teacher strategies during reading activities? Research objectives. The objective of the study are to describe classroom practices in teaching reading at grade 10, to identify teacher strategies used to foster critical, to explore student response toward the reading strategies implemented in classroom. The significance of the study. Theoretically, this study contributed to the field of English language teaching by providing an ethnographic perspective on reading instruction. It offers a deeper understanding of classroom practices related to critical reading. Practically, the findings of this study are expected to help teachers reflect on their teaching strategies and improve their reading instruction based on the Merdeka curriculum. This research may also serve as a reference for future studies. Scope and limitation. This study focused on classroom practices and teacher strategies in teaching reading at grade 10. This research is conducted in one senior high school that implements the Merdeka curriculum. The study is limited to one English teacher and one class. It doesn't aim to measure student achievement quantitatively, but rather to understand the learning process and classroom interaction. Literature review. This study is supported by theories related to reading skill in EFL learning, critical reading skills, deep comprehension, teacher strategies, the Merdeka curriculum, and student-centered learning. These theories provide the foundation for analyzing classroom practices observed in the study. This research uses a qualitative research design with an ethnographic approach. Ethnography allows the researcher to observe classroom activities naturally and understand how teaching strategies are applied in real situations. The research was conducted at a senior high school implementing the Merdeka curriculum. The participants consist of one English teacher and students from one grade 10 class. The participants were selected because they are directly involved in the teaching and learning process relevant to study. The data collection technique. Data were collected through classroom observation to examine teaching strategies and student interaction, semi-structured interviews with the teacher and selected students, documentation including lesson plans, teaching materials, and student worksheets. This technique helped obtain rich and detailed data analysis. The data were analyzed by organizing and categorizing the collected information. The research identified patterns related to classroom practices and teacher strategies. The analysis process involved interpreting the data to understand how critical reading skills and deep comprehension are fostered in the classroom. Trustworthiness of data. To ensure the credibility of the data, the study applied triangulation by comparing data from observation, interviews, and documentation. Member checking was also conducted to confirm that the findings reflect the real classroom situation. Expected findings. This study is expected to provide a clear description of classroom reading practices, identify effective teacher strategies, and explain student responses toward reading activities. The findings are expected to support better implementation of the Merdeka curriculum in reading instruction. Conclusion. The conclusion is teacher strategies play an important role in fostering student critical reading skills and deep comprehension through an ethnographic approach. This study offers a deeper understanding of classroom practices based on the Merdeka curriculum. Thank you.